In the shadowed corners of every man's soul there lies a quiet battle, a struggle not born of weakness but of blindness to the truths that govern desire, respect, and power. Picture this. A man stands at the edge of a vast, starlit desert, the wind whispering secrets he cannot yet hear. He senses something is wrong, feels the weight of moments slipping through his fingers, moments when a woman's gaze turned cold, when her interest faded like a dying ember, when he lost something he couldn't name. You've felt it too, haven't you? That ache when you know you're losing ground, but you don't know why. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just advice. It's a map to reclaim what's been lost, a key to unlock the ancient wisdom that smart men have forgotten. These are the 9 silent mistakes men make with women, not because they're foolish, but because the world has hidden the rules from them. And once you see them, you'll never walk the same path again. Imagine a man who believes he's doing everything right. He's kind, attentive, always there when she needs him. He explains his every move, thinking it proves his care. But what he doesn't see is the slow erosion of his presence, the way each justification chips away at the mystery that once drew her in. The first mistake is explaining yourself like a man on trial. Picture a warrior, standing tall beneath a crimson sky, his sword gleaming with purpose. Does he pause to justify his strike? Does he beg the world to understand his heart? Number he acts, and the world bends to his will. When you over-explain, why you were late, why you chose this path, why you feel the way you do, you're not building trust. You're pleading for approval, and a woman's heart doesn't chase a beggar. She craves the man who moves with quiet certainty, who lets his actions speak louder than his words. Think of the last time you felt compelled to defend yourself. Did her eyes light up, or did they drift away? The truth is, silence carries more weight than 1,000 excuses. When you stop explaining, you create a void, a space where her curiosity grows, where she begins to wonder who you truly are. That wonder, that spark of the unknown is what pulls her closer. But it vanishes when you commit the second mistake, being the nice guy who's always there. Picture a marketplace bustling with merchants offering their wares for free. At first the crowd gathers, but soon they pass by without a glance. Why? Because what's freely given loses its value. When you're always texting first, always available, always eager to please, you become the merchant no one treasures. Women don't dream of the man who's predictable, who lays his heart bare at every turn. They yearn for the one who's just out of reach, whose time feels like a rare gift. Imagine a man who steps back, not out of cruelty, but because his life is a river flowing towards something greater. When he creates space, she feels the pull of his absence. She begins to invest her thoughts, her time, her desire, because what's scarce becomes sacred. Have you ever been too available, only to watch her interest fade? The Stoic truth is this: a man's value lies in his rarity, not his reliability. That rarity demands you hold the frame, which leads us to the third mistake: letting her take the lead. Picture a ship cutting through a stormy sea, its captain steady at the helm. If he turns to the crew and asks, "Where should we go?" the ship falters, the crew doubts, and the storm claims them all. A woman doesn't want to steer the ship. She wants to feel the strength of a man who knows his course, who guides her with calm authority. When you hesitate, when you ask her to decide every step, you're not being kind. You're abandoning your role. The man who leads doesn't need permission. He assumes her desire and acts, trusting his own vision, and in that trust, she finds safety, excitement, the thrill of being swept into a journey she didn't design. To lead is to shape the dance, not follow her steps. But the dance loses its magic when you make the fourth mistake, revealing everything too soon. Imagine a temple hidden deep within a jungle, its walls etched with stories only the worthy can read. Each step toward it is a discovery, each glimpse a reward. Now imagine tearing down the vines, flinging open the doors, and spilling every secret to the first passerby. The temple loses its allure, doesn't it? When you lay bare your life, every fear, every dream, every scar, in the early days, you rob her of the journey. A woman's heart thrives on mystery, on the slow unraveling of who you are. She wants to earn your story, to feel she's peeling back layers no one else has touched. Picture a man who speaks with intention, whose words are like rare coins, not scattered pebbles. He doesn't flood her with his past. He offers glimpses, each one a spark that ignites her curiosity. Have you ever shared too much, only to feel the connection dim? The Stoic truth is this: what's unveiled too quickly loses its power, but what's guarded becomes a treasure she yearns to claim. That treasure loses its shine when you commit the fifth mistake, needing her approval. Picture a lion, its mane catching the golden light as it strides across the savannah. Does it pause to ask the herd if it's worthy? Does it seek their nods before it roars? Its strength is its own, unshaken by the eyes upon it. Yet so many men falter, asking, was that okay? Did you like it? Do you like me? Each question is a crack in the foundation of your presence. When you chase her validation, you tell her you doubt your own worth. And if you doubt it, why should she believe in it? The men who captivate don't fish for praise. They move with a quiet conviction that says, I am enough. Not arrogance, but a deep-rooted certainty that draws her in like gravity. Imagine flipping the script. Instead of seeking her approval, let her wonder if she's earned yours. That shift changes everything. When have you caught yourself seeking her nod instead of trusting your own? The man who needs nothing from her is the one she cannot forget. That unforgettable man falters when he makes the sixth mistake, trying to fix her storm. Picture a woman standing in the rain, her face streaked with tears, her heart heavy with the weight of the world. You want to help, so you offer solutions, plans, advice, a map out of her pain. But what she needs isn't a carpenter to rebuild her house. She needs a shelter to feel safe in the storm. When she shares her struggles, she's not asking you to solve them. She's asking, can you see me? Can you stand with me in this chaos? The wise man doesn't rush to patch the cracks. He listens. He stays. He lets her feel heard instead of saying, here's what you should do. Try I see how heavy that is. Those words, simple as they are, weave a bond stronger than any solution, because what she'll remember isn't your advice. It's the way you made her feel seen, understood, held in the quiet strength of your presence. Have you ever tried to fix what only needed your stillness? The man who becomes her refuge, not her repairman, is the one who lingers in her soul. That lingering presence fades when you commit the seventh mistake, shrinking to be accepted. Picture a mountain, its peaks piercing the clouds, unyielding against the winds that howl around it. Now imagine that mountain carving itself smaller, softening its edges, desperate to please the valley below. Absurd, isn't it? Yet men do this every day, dimming their fire, muting their strength, apologizing for the space they take. They think it makes them likable, but it only makes them invisible. A woman doesn't crave a man who blends into the background. She's drawn to the one who stands tall, who owns his power without apology. Your masculinity isn't a flaw to hide. It's the anchor she seeks in a world of uncertainty. When have you dulled your edges to fit in, only to feel unseen? The man who refuses to shrink commands respect, not because he demands it, but because he embodies it. Yet even the strongest stumble when they make the eighth mistake, placing her above their mission. Picture a warrior forging a path through an ancient forest, his eyes fixed on a distant summit. His purpose burns within him, a fire that lights his way. Now imagine him halting, abandoning his quest, to chase a fleeting shadow in the trees. The summit fades, his fire dims, and the forest grows silent. So it is when a man reshapes his life for a woman who hasn't earned that place. You skip your work, neglect your dreams, pause your growth to prove your devotion. But here's the hidden truth. No woman wants to be your mission. She wants to join a man already in motion, to walk beside someone whose path is clear and unwavering. When you prioritize her over your purpose, you lose the very essence that makes you magnetic. She senses your drift, and her respect slips away. Imagine a man who keeps building, his body, his mind, his empire, undeterred by distraction. That man doesn't chase her. She's drawn to him like a river to the sea. Have you ever lost your focus chasing someone who pulled away? The Stoic truth is this: your mission is your backbone, and a man without one bends too easily. That backbone crumbles when you make the ninth mistake, saying too much when less would mean more. Picture a sage perched on a cliff, the wind carrying his words across a vast canyon. He speaks rarely, but when he does, the world listens, for each word is heavy with intent. Now imagine him babbling, filling the silence with excuses, explanations, pleas for understanding. The canyon grows quiet, his power fades. So it is when you over-explain, when you fill every pause with words to justify your choices. Every "I was busy, so I couldn't text," or "I didn't mean it that way," is a crack in your presence. Women don't crave a man who defends his every move. They're captivated by the one who lets silence speak. Picture her asking why you didn't call. Instead of a long excuse, you say, "I had my reasons," and let the moment hang. Suddenly she's not judging, she's intrigued. That quiet strength, that refusal to plead, shifts the air between you. When have you said too much and felt the energy slip? The man who masters silence wields a power that words can never match. That power is what separates the man who drifts from the one who commands his destiny. These 9 mistakes: explaining yourself, being too available, letting her lead, revealing too much, seeking approval, fixing her storms, shrinking your strength, abandoning your mission, and speaking too much, are not mere errors. They are chains, forged in the quiet moments when you doubt your worth, when you forget the ancient truths carved into the bones of those who came before. Picture yourself now, standing at the edge of that starlit desert from the beginning. The wind no longer whispers secrets you can't hear. It carries a voice, yours, steady, clear, rooted in purpose. You see the path ahead, not as a maze, but as a forge, where every step shapes you into the man you were meant to be. This isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about reclaiming what the world tried to bury, your quiet, unshakable strength. Which of these truths struck you deepest today? Share it below, not just for me, but for the brotherhood of men awakening to their power. Your voice matters, because in speaking it, you join a conversation as old as time itself. And yet, the journey doesn't end here. Knowing these truths is only the first spark. To live them is to walk a path few dare to tread, a path where every choice, every silence, every step becomes a testament to your growth. Imagine a world where you no longer chase, where women sense your presence like a tide they cannot resist. That world begins the moment you choose to act, to embody these lessons with unrelenting intent. Don't let this spark fade. Join us on this journey. Hit that subscribe button, become part of the Stoic venture, and let's walk this path together, forging wisdom into action with every video. What will you do with this spark you've found? Let it ignite something greater, something eternal within you.